Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-salakaya Chakkhuru-nimilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadama-ayam Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sijutapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Shri Raghunatham Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Litam Shri Visakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopishya Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Pasyata Desa Sarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome to the Nrsimhadev and Prahlada pastimes. So today we are going to discuss about the wonderful and thoughtful prayers by Prahlada Maharaj to pacify Lord Nrsimhadev. So before we start, we should know that this prayer, thoughtful prayers, is very, very important, because as we know that the Prahlad pastimes, Nrsimhadev Leela, is very, very very popular pastimes for everyone. Not only that, innumerable teaching lessons we can get it from this pastime, to understand this pastime. And Srila Prabhupada particularly immersed in the purport, particularly invested so much time in seventh canto and extensively preached the seventh canto. Prabhupada used to say that because this modern civilization very much similar to Hiranyakashipu, so therefore the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj is very, very contemporary and very, very important. So not only that, you can find very, very striking things that Srila Prabhupada given the most quoted verses of Srimad Bhagavatam is 7.9.31. Nate vidhu sattva gatim hi Vishnu. And also he has given the longest purport from the 7th canto, 7.5.23, this 9 stages of bhakti. So we can understand that from this point, we can understand that how important is this 7th canto is. And it is also favorite of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they like this particular subject, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every afternoon he used to go to Tota Gopinath, where the great devotee Gadadhar Pandit used to say, and he used to hear every day, non-failingly, the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. And also Sukadev Goswami has invested 10th canto, 10th chapter to narrate the Nrsimha Leela, Nrsimha and Prahlad pastime, as compared to the only 5 chapter dedicated to Rasa Leela. So in this way we can know that how important this subject matter of 7th canto. So we will start with 7th canto today and glorify this beautiful lesson from the end, and understand the beautiful, instructive and very important lesson from these prayers. This is the first verse in Narada Uvacha, because this 7th canto is a conversation between a conversation. Sutta Goswami is speaking to Naimisaranya sages at Naimisaranya, whatever he has heard from Sukadev Goswami, And Sukadev Goswami is speaking the same matter to same subject matter of Prahlada Narsingha Katha to Parikshit Maharaj. And Sukadev Goswami is giving a reference of Narada Muni, who spoke this Narsingha and Prahlad pastimes to Yudhishthira Maharaj during Rajasuya Yajna. So this is a conversation between a conversation between a conversation. Very interesting. So Narada Uvacha evam suradhaya sarve brahma rudra purasara nopitam akhyan manyu samrambham sudrasadam. So in the very first verse, great says Narada Muni continue, the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, other great demigods, dared not to come forward before the Lord, who at that time was extremely angry. So there is a very important point here, the very first verse of these prayers. Actually, when Nrsimhadev came and killed Hiranyakasipu, he was very extremely angry because he was in a very ferocious, very fearful, ferocious and very, fearful incarnation. Then when he killed, then all the demigods assembled there to glorify the Supreme Lord. But still his anger was not pacified. Therefore, the demigods, even Lord Shiva, the great towering personality, the great important demigods like Prahlada, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, even the constant companion Mother Lakshmi, the concept Mahalakshmi, he also did not dare to come because he has not seen such a ferocious, some fearful form, some angry form of the Lord. So therefore he is very chaste. He was thinking, I don't think he is my husband. Like, he was so fearful. So here you can understand that all this Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they are all subordinate. They are not equal to the Lord. They are not equal. They are subordinate. It is stated in these beautiful verses that all these people are subordinate to the Lord. The beautiful verses spoken by Sutta Goswami. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutastun Banti Dibbastave Vede Sangopanisadair Gayanti Yam Samagha Dhana Vasishta Tadgatena Manasa Paschanti Yam Yogina Jasantana Viduṣaḥ Sarakana Devi Tasmei Namah. So in these verses it is said that Sutta Goswami unto the personality whom Brahma Varuna Indra, Yam Brahma Varunendra, all the great personality, they are praising by chanting the transcendental hymn, reciting Vedas to the Supreme Lord. And the yogis within their minds fixing themselves in the trance. So all the demigods are subordinate to the Lord. Ramasambhu Brahmarapati Ganesarchita Pado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami. So all this great personality, including Rama, means Lakshmi, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, all they are subordinate. They are worshipping the Lord. It's not like all the demigods are equal to the Lord. No. Krishna say mataha parataram nanyan kinchit asti dhananjaya. Param Brahma Paramadhama Pavitram Paramam Bhava. So he is the supreme controller. Nobody asamurtha. This is one point we should learn from this relation. And also those who are thinking that they are similar to the, they are equal to the all these people, they are not good, it is stated that 18:1 says Madhya Yastu Narayana Devam Brahma Rudrati Daivatais Samattena Vivikhyata Sa Prasandi Bhavam Dharma. Those who are thinking that person who consider demigod like Brahma Shiva to be in equal level with Narayana is to be considered an offender of Prasandi. So whosoever is thinking that no, this Brahma and Lord Shiva, all the great personality also same. So they are also equal to the God. No. In this very first verse, Narada Muni says that they are very fearful even to come to Nrsimhadev. Nrsimhadev is very, very, very angry, fearful mood actually. And that angry mood also very important. Because this angry, everything comes from the Lord. Janmadasya jataha. the lost anger, greed, everything is there in a very pure and pristine form in the Lord, whatever we are experiencing. But we cannot neglect that angry. Rather, this angry should be invested. One may say that why God is so angry. No, why not God can be angry? Why we are restricting the God? And God angry is not for unnecessary thing. Just like devotees angry, devotee should be angry when other devotee is offended and Lord is offended. Similarly, God is angry when devotees are offended. Prahlada Maharaj was tortured beyond the limits by Hiranyakashipu's own father. And that was not tolerated. Krishna can tolerate his offense, can forgive, but he cannot forgive if you blaspheme the devotee. Hari pade aparade tara hari nama, but tava pade, Vaishnava pade aparada, nahi tara hari. There is no question of relief and respite if somebody offend or blaspheme the devotee. Therefore, this beautiful Bhakti Premachandrika Narottam Das Thakur is telling that how we can utilize our, how we can utilize all our, these beautiful verses, how can you utilize all this lost anger, greed? That cannot be avoided, that cannot be neglected, but that can be properly used. All this just like Maya. Maya is backside of the Krishna. We cannot neglect it. Wherever Krishna is front side, back side is Maya. But we cannot neglect, but we can utilize it. That is whole idea. Krishna seva kama arpane krodha bhakta desi jane lobo sadhu sange hari katha. See, this is a beautiful verses. It is stated that I will engage my lost in eagerness to serve Krishna. That is the lost. Laulyam me ekam. Laulyam, Rupa Goswami says laulyam, that greed, spiritual greed must be there. Lost means to serve Krishna. I will use my anger against those who are envious of devotees. I will greedy to hear the topics of Hari in the association of devotee. I will be illusion if I fail to achieve my worshipful Lord. I will feel proud to chant glories of Krishna. In this way, I will engage them in their respective duty. That is the proper use of. There is no question of neglect. We cannot neglect all these things. But all these things has to be spiritualized. How to spiritualize? It has to be applied in the service of the Krishna. Krishna Sambandhe. Everything has to be Krishna, in relation to Krishna. So here the anger, this God cannot be anger. Why God cannot be anger? You are blaspheming his devotee. And he has already promised. Pratidanihi konteha naivātmanaḥ pranasati. My devotee will never perish. So he is coming because he is very angry. You are torturing beyond the limit, throwing from the cliff, administering poison. What is this nonsense? The Prahlada Maharaj was was very fearful. And he killed Hiranyakashipu. He tear his heart. Prabhakara kamala bare, nakam adbhuta sringa, dalita Hiranyakashipu tanubringam, kesha vṛṇīte, narahari rupa, jaya jagadīṣa. So this way he came. So therefore this thing should be learned, that our angry should be, first of all, we should not equate demigods with God. Secondly, the angry should be applied as and when necessary. If there is a blasphemy or insult or offense found against devotee and the Lord. Then let's go to the second verses. We have a 55 verses. We will try to finish as much as we can, and we can continue in the rest of the days, because all these verses are very, very important. The goddess of fortune Lakshmiji was requested to go before the Lord by all demigods present, who because of fear could not do so. But even she had never seen such a wonderful extraordinary form of the Lord. Thus she should not approach it. A very important point. Lakshmi Narayana, Sita Ram, Uma Maheshwar. See, this is a Sishtachar etiquette, that the feminine comes first, always. Then we take the name of the energetic energy. Although Lakshmi ji is a very constant companion of the Supreme Lord Narayana, that Narayana now has come as this fearful Narasimha, Namurgam Namanusim, this Narasimha, wonderful half-man name. But Lakshmi ji is frightened to go because he has not seen, although Narayana has come on the request of Brahma, but they were not expecting that such a fearful. So Lakshmi ji never saw, never has the experience or never seen his husband in such a fearful, fear, very angry mood. Therefore, he was very chaste woman. He was doubting, he's thinking that, no, I have never seen such an extraordinary form of the Lord, wonderful form of the Lord. So he is feared to go. He could not approach him. See here, Prabhupada says that although this Lord form is very fearful, for the common man, Narasimha is certainly unseen and wonderful, but for a devotee like Prahlada, such a fearful form is not at all extraordinary. By the grace of Lord, devotee can very easily understand how the Lord can appear in any form. That Lord can appear in any form he likes, therefore devotee is never afraid of such a form because special favor bestowed upon Prahlada Maharaj, he remained silent and unafraid. Even though all the demigods, including even Lakshmi Devi, were afraid of Narasimha Dev, Narayana Parasarve Nakusarve. Prabhupada quoted beautiful verses. Those who are devotees of the Lord, Narayana Parasarve, this is spoken by the Lord Shiva. Narayana Parasarve na kusana vibhyati sargo apavarga narakeshu apitulya thadarsina. When Chitraketu was caused by Parvati, that you are offending or you are making joke of Lord Shiva, my husband, I curse you become a demon, Vritasur. But Chitraketu also is a great devotee of Sankarsana. He could have counteracted, but he did not counteract. And he is not fear of. Therefore Lord Shiva immediately counteracted, immediately saying, Parvati, although you have power to curse, but see this Vaishnava, he never counteracted because he does not fear for your cause. He does not fear for your cause because he is a pure devotee. Devotee solely engaged in the devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, never fear any condition of life. For them, heavenly planets, liberation, hellish planet are all the same. For such devotee are interested only in the service of the Lord. That is the symptoms of pure devotee. They do not fear, oh, this circumstances is bad, that circumstances is bad. Oh, no. For any circumstances, whether hell and heaven, they are engaged in the service of the Lord. They do not bother. As long as they are engaged, they do not care. Just like Prahlada Maharaj said, I am not afraid. Tadaviragaya magnachita, mahamrutam magnachita. I am not afraid of your material existence. I am not afraid because I am always absorbed in your thought of your pastime. Wonderful activity. Similarly, devotees are always engaged in the thought of, they do not care. Whether we put them in hellish condition or in a heavenly condition. They do not, even liberation is same for them. Because they only na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kama. Mama janmani sare bhavatat bhakti rahitu. They only inclines towards serving the Lord, birth after birth. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, never mind, I do not want liberation. He never asked for liberation. He said, no, birth after birth, wherever I am, but I should have opportunity to serve the Lord. That should be the mood, understanding of the devotee, mood of the devotee. So then one more thing is say that this is just like a cub, a lion, very ferocious looking for the animal like deer and all. But the cub, his child cub, he is not fearful. Cub is enjoying, for cub is most beautiful. He is not afraid of his lion. Others are afraid of lion. Other small animals. That is the difference. So devotee, whatever the form Lord comes, Advaita Madhutya Manadira, Ananta Rupam, his Ananta incarnation is an innumerable incarnation. Avatara hi asankhya, Hari. Hari avatar is asankhya. So any form Lord appears, but devotee never afraid of that. Then we can go to the next verse. Prahladam prayeshyam asa. Prahladam prayeshyam asa. Thereafter Lord Brahma requested Prahlada Maharaj, who was standing very near him, my dear son, Lord Nrsimhadev is extremely angry at your demoniac father. Please go forward and appease the Lord. So here the demigods, they, including demigods also, his consort Lakshmi Devi, very afraid of. So Brahmaji, he thought that, okay, Brahma, because of you, Nrsimhadev appeared. He pushed Prahlad Maharaj, you go and pray. Go and appease, pacify the Supreme Lord Nrsimhadev. Narada Muni continued, O king, although the exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj was only a little boy, he accepted Lord Brahma's word. He gradually proceeded towards Lord Nrsimhadev, fell down to offer his respectful obeisance with folded hand. So then Prahlad Maharaj approached to the Lord Nrsimhadev and offer obeisances. This is the etiquette. Whenever you go to temple or before the deities, you immediately offer prostrated obeisances. Jayatam surata upangur mama manda mate mama manda mate mati. Jayatam surata upangur mama manda mate gati mata sarvasya padam bhajo sisiradha madana. So always offer some prayer and offer obeisances. When Nrsimhadev saw that small boy Prahlad was prostrated at the sole of his lotus feet, he became most ecstatic affection towards devotee. Raging Prahlad Maharaj Lord placed his lotus feet and lotus hand upon the boy's head, because his hand is always ready to create fearlessness in all his devotees. The necessity of material world are for artha, ahara, nidra, bhaya, moithunating. In this material world, everyone is in fearful consciousness. Sada samudigna diham. And the only means to make everyone fearless is Krishna consciousness. When Lord Nrsimhadev appeared, all the devotees become fearless. Devotee hope becoming fearless is to chant the holy name of the Lord. Nrsimhadev, yathā yathā jami tato Nrsimha. Whenever we go, we must always think of Lord Nrsimhadev. That there will be no fear for the devotee. That is what. So that is Lord. Lord is personification. Aham bhayam bhivati. Aham. It is stated that Lord is personified. The fear personified fears the Lord. So Lord comes means immediately fear personified goes away. Apanna samsthitam ghoram yannama vivasya ginnanta tasadya vimuchyate yad vivati soyam bhayam. So living beings who are entangled in the complicated mazes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. Here Lord himself appeared. What to his appear? His name itself is chanted. Even the fear personified fear. Fear personified fear. So Lord appearance gives fearlessness to devotees. That is one of the purpose. Everybody fear. This material world sada samudigna diham. Prahlad Maharaj himself said in somewhere others in 755 that sada samudigna diha. This material world is full of fear. Because it's a temporary existence. We are threatened. Our so-called existence is threatened by birth, death, disease, old age. It's threatened by the non-existential atmosphere. We have so many reaction of fruitive activities. Adhyatmik, adi daivik, adi bhautik. Three miserable conditions. So we are always fearful. But Lord appears is fearless to all the devotees. Because He is the protector. He is not only Bhakta Vatsala, He is Kripana Vatsala. He is very dear to even, very affectionate to even Kripana, the conditioned souls. That is wonderful attribute of the Lord. His Bhakta Vachala is Kripana Vachala. In later verses, Prabhupada, Prahlada Maharaj is addressing the Lord as Kripana Vachala. You are Kripana Vachala, my Lord. So, in another verses in Bhagavatam also it is stated that very nicely. Which verse? Yes. Madhvayad bhati bhatayam suryastapati madhvayad varsat indradhati agni mistuscharati madhvayat. It is because of my supremacy that wind blows out of fear of me, the sun shines out of fear of me, the Lord of the clouds, Indra, sends forth showers out of fear of me, fire burns out of fear of me, death goes about taking its toll out of fear. So everybody fearing the Lord. So Lord comes, presence is fearless. So he has come to give fearless. Prahlada alada. To give pleasure or fearless to his devotee Prahlada. So next verses we will go. Say that Narad Muni, O king, although the exalted devotee Prahlada Maharaj, only a little boy, he accepted Lord Brahma's way, gradually proceeded on and fell down offer everything. Okay. So here one more important point is that Lord placed his lotus hand upon the boy's head. See, this is very important. Why? In the next verses it is stated that by the touch of Lord Nrsimhadev hand on Prahlada Maharaj's head, Prahlada was completely free from all material contamination and desire as if he had been thoroughly cleansed. Therefore, he at once became transcendently situated. And all the symptoms of ecstasy became manifest in his body, his heart filled with love, and his eyes with tears. Thus, he was able to completely capture the lotus feet of the Lord. So, this is the very important things that, see, this putting the hand of the Lord, even this opportunity has not been privileged to Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi, and to other devotees like Brahma and Lord Shiva. Lord has never put their hand. But Prahlada Maharaj is such a fortunate, such an exalted devotee. Lord has put his hand on his head. And as soon as he touches, then all the contamination, all the material desire is vanished. Prabhupada written, Mānaṁ ca bhavicārina bhakti yogena sevata sugunan samatitaitan brahma bhūyāya kalpate. On the strength of these verses from Bhagavad Gita, it is evident that although Prahlada Maharaj was born in a demoniac family, although virtually demoniac blood flow in this body, he was clean all the material body contamination because of his exalted position as a devotee. In other words, such an impediment on the spiritual path could not stop from his progressing, for he was directly in touch with Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is important, because once you are in directly touch with Krishna consciousness, then all your inabilities or your frailties, that will be vanished. That will be vanished. All the impediments to progress, that will be vanished. Because we are not progressing because of contamination. That contamination will automatically, immediately purify as soon as we come. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is a very fortunate position, very purifying position. As soon as we come in contact with Krishna consciousness, means we are come in contact with Krishna. Then the purification process starts. This is very important, because one has to purify, otherwise one cannot come to the Brahma Bhuya platform or Krishna consciousness platform. Whole idea of Krishna consciousness is to purify our existence, purify our consciousness. So Prabhupada quoted that Mānaṁ ca bhavicārena bhakti yogena sevate, who engaged in very unadulterated service, devotional service. He can go beyond this. He can be free from contamination of modes of material nature. Also, anybody can. Another verse Prabhupada quoted that Mami Partha Vyapasrita. Anybody can. Papa Joni, even though Prahlad is born in a demonic, he is not Sura Joni. All Brahma, Lord Shiva, even Lakshmi Devi, all are Sura Joni. But here is Asura Joni, abominable, demoniac. But still, there is no impediment. Everybody can come, provided condition that he has to engage in devotional service. The verse is that Aho Bhata Sopache Garya. Even a dog eater, he is glorified. This is a beautiful verses. It is stated here that even a dog eater, Aho Bhata Sopache Garyan Yad Jibhrage Vartate Nama Tubhyam. So here it is stated that even a dog eater, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the families of dog eaters, such person are worshipable. Person who chant the holy name of your Lordship must have executed all kind of austerity, fire, sacrifice, achieved all good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your Lordship, they must have bathed the holy place of pilgrimage, studied Veda, fulfilled everything required. That is so important. As soon as we come in contact with Krishna consciousness by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we get purified. Very important. So the next verse we will go, 797. It's very important. Astu siddharim ekagram manasa susumatitam prema gadagadaya vacha tanyasta udaya. Prahlad Maharaj fixed his mind and sight upon the Lord Narasimha with full attention and complete trance. With a mixed mind, he began to offer prayers in love with faltering voice. So, susamahitaha means very attentive, fully fixed. The ability to fix the mind in this way, result of yoga siddhi, mystic perfection. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that dhyana vasishta tad gatena manasa pasyantiyam yogina. One attains yogic perfection when one is freed from all material diversion and his mind is fixed upon the lotus feet of the Lord called Samadhi. Prahlad Maharaj attained the stage of beyond the senses because he was engaged in the service. He felt transcendently situated. Naturally, his mind and attention become saturated with transcendence. In this condition, he began to offer prayer as follows. Actually, the prayer started from 798 to 7950, 55, 52 or something. So, 43 verses. So, but Prahlad Maharaj here fixed his mind. Here it's a Gadagadaya, Prema Gadgadaya. He is on the stage of Prema. As Prabhupada says that Samadhi stage, the last stage, trance, Prema, full of absorption in thought of Krishna. Prahlada means Prakashta Rupena Allada. Means he is condensed and concentrated in ecstasy in Krishna consciousness. Concentrated ecstasy. Concentrated, condensed trance in Krishna consciousness. That is the meaning of Prahlad. So Prahlad is Prema Gadagadaya. To come to the Prema Gadagadaya is very important. He is not just ordinary neophyte devotee. Prema is coming to point this here. Rupa Goswami has stated the stages of progressing in bhakti in these beautiful verses. Sorry. Rupa Goswami has quoted very Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha Atho Bhajana Kriya Tatho Anartha Nirvitisha Tatho Nishta Ruchi Tatho Atha Sakti Tatho Bhavas Tatho Prema Abhyudachantis Sadakanam Ayaṁ Premna Pradur Bhave Bhavet Krama. So here it is stated that in the beginning there must be a faith. That is called Shraddha. Shraddha is important. In the beginning there is a Shraddha, in the end also Shraddha. The perfection of our Krishna consciousness is Shraddha. And the beginning of Krishna consciousness is Shraddha. That is Kanishta Shraddha. Kanishta Shraddha and that Kanishta Shraddha means little faith. We have a little faith, we come. And as soon as we come, we become interested in associating with devotees. That is called Sadhu Sangha. Because sadhus means who is very faithful servant of Krishna. So when with our little faith, when we associate with the faithful servant of Krishna, we also become faithful servant of Krishna. That means to associate with sadhu, we begins to become sadhu. Not become sadhu, begins. That is called bhajana kriya, means initiation. Because with sadhu sangha we hear Sravanam Kirtanam. Then we are more interested. By hearing about Supreme Lord, we get interest to become sadhu also. By seeing them, their behavior, how they behave, sadhu bhusana, how they speak about God, always engage in speaking, glorifying the Lord and chanting His glories, hearing about glory. So we also learn, and we also have, we develop the urge to become sadhu. Jassang by Sriyamanayaṁ Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Rutpadayate Punsam. The bhakti will sprouts up. Because of association of devotee, you hear Krishna Katha. When you hear Krishna Katha, the bhakti sprouts up. And when bhakti sprouts up slowly, in the beginning, it's a beginning to be a sadhu. That is called bhajana kriya, initiation. Initiated by spiritual master and begin to sadhu. Not that we have gone, we have become sadhu. Begin to become sadhu. That time all our unwanted, anartha nirviti sadhu. We begin to become sadhu by executing the instruction of spiritual master, a regulative principle. Under the order of spiritual master. Thus one is free from unwanted habits. When you start doing this bhajana, following the instruction, all this unwanted habit, anartha, that will vanish. We have so many contamination. Janmanat jayate sudra. In the beginning we are all contaminated. Sanskarat bhavet dijjo. We become dijjo. Twice birth. Then slowly we become fixed in devotional service, nishta will come, then develop the taste, attachment, then bhava, emotion, then prema. Prema is the last stage. In prema stage, this shraddha, which is kanishta, which is very little, very fragile in the beginning, it becomes very strong, unswerving, unfailing faith. That is stated in these beautiful verses. This verses is from Shraddha Sabde. This verses is Shraddha Sabde Vishwasa Kaye Shrudidya Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Kama Kirtavya. Shraddha means is confident, firm faith that by rendering devotional service, transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activity. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. That is called real strong faith. That stage, when you come to the stage of prema, that shraddha will be unflinching faith, unswerving faith. Initially it is fragile, kanishta. So now it is stated prema gada gadaya. Prahlada Maharaj was in that state of prema. Premanjana churita bhakti bilochanena santa sadeva deshu bilokandi yam sama sundaram achinta guna sarupam govindam adi purusantamam. Premanjara, to love of Godhead is important. That is our aim of life, how to develop that prema, that love of Godhead. When you develop, we can see the Lord everywhere, just like Prahlada Maharaj is seeing everywhere in the pillar. Premanjana churita, saturated by love. Premanjana churita bhakti bilochanena. The bhakti is there, everybody. It is stated that bhakti is there, but the problem is that 2107 Madhya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabanaya Sravanadi Suddha Chitte Karya Hoga. So this bhakti, pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the heart of living entity. It is not something to be gained. No. It is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens. Because now we are contaminated stage. Maya is holding us back. We want to hear, but Maya said, don't hear, don't go here, don't hear the classes. What is the use of this Prahlada Maharaj teaching? That Maya is detecting us. It is stated in these beautiful verses that how the Maya, the Rupa Goswami has said that this Maya is, how his Maya is very much beautiful verses. Forget where it is. Yeah. The beautiful verses. Smeram bhangi traya parichitam sachivistri nadristim. So this is a beautiful verses. My dear friend, if you are indeed attached to your worldly friend, do not look at the smiling face of Lord Govinda as he stands on the bank of Jamuna at Kesighat. Casting sidelong glances, he places his flute to his lips, which seem like newly blossomed twigs. His transcendental body, bending in three places, appears very bright in the moonlight. So it is advised by Rupa Goswami. If you are so much attached to the worldly friends or Maya, so much attachment to Maya, do not look at smiling face of Govinda. That means you do not come to Vrindavan. If you come to Vrindavan, do not go to Jamuna near Kesighat. If you go to Kesighat also, do not look the smiling face of Govinda who is bending like Trivangi. Three bend, Sam Sundarapam. Because you will forget Maya. So whole idea is that this Maya is holding back to come to the stage of prema. Otherwise, prema is very natural, intrinsic nature of the living entity, being a part and parcel of the Lord. So we should develop the love by the process Rupa Goswami has laid down. This is called Mahajana Jaina Gatasapanta. We should follow the Acharya. Although Guru Astraya. So we can go to the next verses where real teaching, real prayer has started in 798. The beautiful verses 798. Prahlada Uvacha. Here the Prahlada Maharaj started speaking. Brahmadeya suragana munayatha siddhaha. See, very nicely speaking. That Prahlada Maharaj prayed, how is it possible for me who have been born in a family of Asura to offer suitable prayer to satisfy Supreme Personality of God? Even until now, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, all the saintly person could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent word. Although such person are very qualified, being in mode of goodness, then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. This is how the devotees should feel, mood of the devotee. Devotees should be very humble here. Although Prahlada Maharaj is a qualified, highly qualified, prema gata gata, in the stage of prema, pure devotional service. When demigod prayed to the Lord, Lord did not appear immediately. That is a beautiful verses in previous chapter. Lord has prayed, where is this verse? 7:423, I think. Yeah, I think 24. The beautiful verses. There's a beautiful verses. He stated that Lord says that I will come and rescue you, but when the time comes, I will come and rescue you. I forget the verses in 7 chapter. Yeah, I think this one. Kalam tavat prati-mukhasya. Here in these verses, it is said that when the demigods approach to the Lord Narayana, that because of this Hiranyakasipu we are tormented, tortured, so why don't you come? Please come. So based upon it, do not fear, I wish all good fortune to you, become my devotee by hearing and chanting about me, offering my prayer for these are certainly meant to award benediction to all living entity. I know all about the activity of Hiranyakasipu, shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. So he never comes immediately. He told, I will come. This is good because you are praying me, my devotee, by hearing and chanting about me, offering me prayer for these are certainly meant to award benediction to you. See how to get the award. This is the very important things. Here Lord himself saying that if you hear, chant and offer prayers, now we are learning about bandhanam, the prayers. The Prahlada Maharaj is praying, offering prayer to the Lord. By this process is meant to award benediction to all living entities. This is the process, not any other process. Simply hearing, chanting and praying. Lord himself said that. And he himself also he said that I will come at that time. He immediately did not come. he immediately did not come. But Prahlada Maharaj, when Prahlada Maharaj was asked by his father that where is your Lord? Is this in pillar? Lord immediately come out. Satyam vidhatam nija-vartya vasitam. So that is the difference. So here, even though he is a great devotee, but he is praying to the Lord that my Lord, the great devotees like Brahma, Lord Shiva, they are all mode of goodness, the asura ganas. They are asura, they are suragana. I mean, they are all suragana. I am asura. I am demoniac descendant. But how that they cannot satisfy you? All the siddhas means those who have got perfection, they can fly anywhere without any impediment. Therefore, Prabhupada writing a Vaishnava means which is fully qualified to serve the Lord, still thinks himself extremely low while offering prayer to the Lord. For example, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Jagai madhai hoite muni se papista puri se rakita hoite muni se lagista. He considers himself unqualified, lower than worms in a stool, more sinful than Jagai Madai. A pure Vaishnava actually thinks himself in this way. Similarly, although Prahlada Maharaj was a pure, exalted Vaishnava, he thought himself most unqualified to offer prayer to the Supreme Lord. Mahajana Janagata Sapanta. Every pure Vaishnava should think like that. One should not be falsely proud of his Vaishnava qualifications. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore instructed, Nadapi Sunisena, Tororopi Sahisuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the forest. Street, one should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige. One should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord unless one is meek and humble. To make progress in spiritual life is very difficult. It is stated that meek and humble in her is the kingdom of God. So Prahlada Maharaj, although he is so exalted, prema gadagadai, he is in the stage of prema, the last stage. Love of Godhead, saturated with love of Godhead. And Lord Nrsimhadev comes instantly as he needed. He never, when he was tortured beyond limit, he never called out Krishna. But here, when he was administered poison and he was asked that where is your Lord, he pointed out, yes, there is a pillar. Krishna is there also. My Lord is also there everywhere. He is there in pillar. And Lord come out for him immediately. But that exalted devotee is teaching us that even though you are advanced, you are pure devotee, even pure devotee, you must be humble and meek. That impresses Lord. That impresses the Lord very much. Meek and humble impresses the Lord and he inherits the kingdom of God. The king Kulasekhara is praying very nicely. Vṛṇīte Vṛṇīte Paricārayak Vṛṇīte Vṛṇīte. 7 times, I am the servant of the servant of the servant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said that. What is your identity, sir? Naham Bani. I am not this brahmachari. Naham Grihapati. I am not Grihapati. Naham Narapati. I am not Narapati. Na Vaisya Sudra. What is your qualification, sir? What is your identity? Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalaya Dasa Dasanudasa. So all the devotees should learn this, that everybody should be meek and humble. I am nothing. That is the qualification. Actually. Because once we are proud of, we cannot progress in spiritual life. And Lord doesn't like the proud. There are so many instances in this. We have no time, otherwise we can give a lot of stories in this, that how the proud, even Sudarshan Chakra, Garuda, there are so many stories when they become proud, Lord understanding this, and they have like Indra. Indra was so puffed up, proud. He did not even recognize Krishna. He is blaspheming even. Bāchalam, you are talkative Krishna, you are stopping my worship, I will show you my power. So he was 7 days and night, torrential rain. He wanted to devastate the whole Braja Vrindavan. But Lord showed him. He subdued his proud. He smashed his proud by lifting Govardhan for 7 days, 7 nights. In his left finger of left hand. So the proud is not good for spiritual progress. So, and this very beautiful verses, next verses is very, very important verses. मन्याधनाभिजनरूपतपः सुताजौस्तेज प्रभाव बलपुरुष बुद्धिजोगाः नरा नराधनाय हि भवन्ति परस्य पुंसा भक्त्या तु very nice भक्त्या तूतस्य भगवान् गजजुत्तपाय भक्त्या तूतस्य भगवान् Bhakta Tutasya Bhagavana means Lord is only satisfied, Lord is only pleased by the bhakti devotional service, just like Gajendra did. So Prahlad Maharaj continued, one may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligent, mystic, yogic power, but I think even by all this qualification one cannot satisfy Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this. The Lord was satisfied with it. So this is 12 qualification has been given. That by this 12 qualification, this material qualification born in an aristocratic family, no. Only by bhakti tutasya one can satisfy the Lord by devotional service. No other way. There is no way that one can satisfy it. Lord say, Bhaktyamama vijananti javanjasa samitattata. By bhakti. Without bhakti, you cannot satisfy it. Lord. Bhakti tu utasya bhagavan. This is a beautiful verses. It is stated in this very nice by Rupa Goswami. Forget these verses. Find out that. So these beautiful verses is there that Prabhupada says Bhaktyamama vijananti, only by devotional service. There is no other way we can satisfy the Lord. The verses is there also, other verses, let me find out the other verses before we go to that one. This is a beautiful verses is there. Krishna says, Bhaktyaham ekah grahaya. Only by devotional service. By practicing unnaive devotion, full faith in me can obtain me. There is no other way we can, by bhakti mam or mamorjita. Krishna says that na sadhayati mam jogo, na sankhyam dharma uddhava, na sodhaya tapastyaga yatha bhaktir mamorjita. My dear Uddhava, the unalloyed devotional service rendered to me by devotee, bring me under their control. I cannot be thus controlled by those engaged in mystic yoga, sankhya philosophy, pious work, Vedic study, austerity. So all this qualification is not actually impressing the Lord, not satisfying the Lord. Bhakta tutasya bhagavan, only by devotional service. Only by devotional service, Lord. One of the verses says that what is the qualification of all this kubja and others personalities like Sudama, but they can impress the Lord simply by devotional service. Swarpama, by devotional service one can impress. Gajendra was, what is Gajendra's qualification? He is devotional. He is an animal. But he has that little devotional service. Swarpama piyasya dharmasya. So he prayed very, intensely to the Lord. When he was caught by crocodiles, the Lord came and rescued him. Because he satisfied the Lord, the prayer, the intense prayer to him. me check these verses if I get it. The beautiful verses is there in this regard. I'm forgetting this verse. Yes. Yes, this is beautiful verses by Rupa Goswami spoken. So, where were hunter dharma piety, Durbas maturity, generous knowledge? Where was Kubja beauty? Where is Sudama wealth? Where was Vidura's noble birth? Where is Urgasana Chaival's strength? Lord Madhava is pleased only by devotional service, not by material qualification. This is quoted by the Rupa Goswami. Remember the first word. Every time forget the first word. Vyadhasya, the hunter named Dharma. Vyadhasya acharanam. Vyadhasya acharanam. I remember this word. So this is the thing. So here Prahlada Maharaj is telling this material qualification will not impress. Even one of the verses, later chapter, he is speaking about the same thing, like I think it's 51 or 52. There's a verse is there. The same point has been spoken by the Prahlada Maharaj. In 7th chapter, we have learnt that Prahlada Maharaj, my dear friend, O son of demon, you cannot please Supreme Personality of Godhead by becoming perfect Brahmana, demigod, great saint, by becoming perfectly good in etiquette or vast learning. None of this qualification can awaken the pleasure of the Lord. Not by charity, austerity, sacrifice, cleanliness, bhava can one satisfy the Lord. Lord is pleased only one with a unflinching, unalloyed devotion to Him, without sincere devotional service. Everything simply is so. So the same thing also he taught to the demoniac classmate. So then moving on to the next verses. All these verses are so important instruction. It's a beautiful verses. It is that if a Brahmana has all 12 Brahminical qualifications, as they are stated in a book called Sanat Sujata, but he is not a devotee, he is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord. He is certainly lower than devotee. Who is a dog eater, but who has directed, who has dedicated everything in the mind, source, activity, wealth, life to Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana, because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas so-called Brahmana in a position, false prestige cannot purify even himself. So this is the beautiful statement of Prahlada Maharaj, that to one of the Maharaja 12 authority, the Brahmana expert in karma kanda, mantra tantra visharada. He is good expert in mantra sutra, because he is not a Vaishnava. He is not considered to be exalted. Mantra tantra visharada vipra. Very good. Vipra means the intermediate stage. Veda pathet vipra. They are very expert in Veda. Then he comes to the graduate Brahmana stage. Although they are qualified Brahmana, but if he is not a devotee, bhagavate bhakti hinasya jati shastra japa tapa apranaiva dahesya mandanam lokaranjanam. This is very beautiful verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita Hari Bhakti Vilas. So bhagavate bhakti hinasya, what is the use of that? It is stated in this Bhagavata Bhakti Hinasya, that if one born in a high family like that of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, but is not a devotee of Krishna, all good qualification as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya are null and void. Indeed, they are considered the decoration of the dead body. So Prahlada Maharaj here telling that no, this kind of qualification is not important. 12 qualities of the Lord, Brahmanas, but having that 12 qualities, exalted quality, one cannot satisfy the Lord with Brahminical qualification. Without devotee, everything is jati shastra, everything is very, pranasya deha, lokanam. This is a beautiful verses, it is say that. Pranasya deha lokam rinanjana. So that means all this qualification, Brahminical qualification, your this just like Kunti Devi telling us that from akinchana gocharam, you only approach by the person who is akinchana, has no material desire. Kinchana means some desire. Not all this qualification like Brahminical qualification. This is not the qualification to, this is not the qualification or prerequisite to impress the Lord. So we can go to the next verse. This is a beautiful verse. Naivātmanaḥ prabhu ayaṁ nija-lābha-pūrṇo mānaṁ janād aviduṣaḥ karuṇo vṛṇīte. So it is very important verses. The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always fully satisfied in Himself. Therefore, when something is offered to Him, the offering by the Lord's mercy is for the benefit of the devotee. For the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one face is decorated, the reflection of one face in the mirror is also seen to be decorated. Very important. All this bhakti yoga we are doing, Sravanam, Kirtanam, it is not for Lord, because Lord do not want anything. We want. We become purified. We are contaminated. This is for our benefit. Lord is completely satisfied, is fully satisfied. Atmaram. Atmaram Chamunaya. Lord is supremely Atmaram. He is satisfied Himself. It is our benefit. We start devotional service. We are offering something, just like we are offering prasadam. By offering prasadam, Lord is not hungry. Satasahasra Lakshmi, thousand of Lakshmi is sevayamanam, is serving the Lord, is a menial servant. He does not need our prasadam, but we offer prasadam so that we purify ourselves. Because prasadam is offered and Lord with devotion, Lord accept it. And also Lord give back, spiritualize that. And we taste this prasadam, variety samjos prasadam. Also we spiritualize ourselves, free from contamination. So Lord spiritualize and send back. Whatever we do, we give money to the Lord. It's purification, because everything belongs to Him. We give back to Him. It is our benefit we purify. Everything, all service we do purify. He does not need anything. He's self-sufficient. Therefore, Prabhupada always use the verses that use this word, that naivātmanaḥ prabhu ayaṁ nija-lābha-pūrṇo. He is full punnam. Om punnam adam punnam idam punnam punnam. He is sadaishcharya punnam. Full of opulences. Aishcharyasya samagrasya veerasya jasasya sriya vairagya. Full of opulence, full of everything. What we can offer to Him? He does not want anything. We want. All this devotional service, all this offering is for our purification. Lord is giving a chance, opportunity for us to purify by engaging, by giving us opportunity. Seva avasara. Mam vadatire kanakaruchire nilachikare vasana prasantanta sahaja bala bhadrena balina subhadra madhyastha sakala sura seva vasara Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagan. In Jagannath temple in Puri, we have 119 department of service, servants. So many rituals from the morning 5 o'clock to midnight 12 o'clock. It's going on, so many items of prasadam, so many times is offering arati. Everybody engaged in so many service. Do you think Lord needs that? No. He is giving the opportunity, seva avasara, so that we can purify. The whole purpose of Krishna consciousness is purifying. Lord wants us to come back to Him more than we eager to go back. So therefore all the things we are doing, devotional service, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna. Do you think we don't chant means Lord? Lord is already glorified. Prabhupada writing beautiful purport. Lord is already glorified. This service for glorifying the Lord by hearing, chanting and so on is not, of course, meant for the benefit of the Lord. The devotional service is recommended for the benefit of the devotee. Lord is always glorious, whether devotee glorifies Him or not. But if devotee engage in glorifying the Lord, the devotee himself automatically become glorious. Chet darpana mardana vaha bhava dava. By glorifying the Lord constantly, what will happen? We become purified. Sinvatam sukatha Krishna punya sravana kirtana hudantastani avadrani vidunati swasana. All the infection in the heart, all the inauspiciousness in the heart will be purified, will be cleansed by the process of devotional service. It is meant for our benefit, not that Lord wants. Therefore, Lord says that sarva dharman parityāgam mām ekam saranam vrata. So this is the thing that we should engage in Krishna consciousness to purify. Not that we should be a dumb and no, I don't want, I don't care. Namam duskitanamura prapadyante. No. That is the way that more you decorate, just like we decorate our face. We cannot see ourselves, but if a mirror, we can see the reflection. Then we can see how we look so brilliant, effulgent. Similarly, we are a reflection of the Lord. In Christian, they say that man is created after the image of God. So we are the reflection of the God. When the God is decorated, we decorated Singararati, we decorate the nicely Supreme Lord, then automatically we will be happy and content. When we glorify Him, when we hear about Him, we are content, we will be happy and pleased, satisfied. Savai punsam paro dharma jato bhakti radhyakya adhukya ahitukya pratiyada yatatma suprasiddhati. That will satisfy us. That is whole idea. He is full. Om punnam madam punnam idam punnam punnam adichyate. He is, everything is full. Even after you take out from Him, 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. He is everything full. Everything belongs to Him. Everything is punna brahma sanatana. It's brahma punna brahma sanatana. So therefore anything offered to Him, as He told patram puspam phalam to Him, jame bhaktya pravachit tadam bhakti rupatam asnami. It's not that He is hungry, but when He accepting means we are purified. We get purified. And He will not accept bhaktya prayojati without bhakti. He cannot accept anything from Tom, Dick and Harry. He told 1084, I think. And non-devotee is appearing, we cannot, no. He cannot be accept anything which is not offered to him by the devotees. Somewhere this verses is there by Sudama. This he is speaking about that anything which is not offered to the Lord, Sudama. These are beautiful verses, Lord Himself speaking. O Supreme Lord, say, O Brahmana, what gift have you brought me from home? I regard as great even the smallest gift offered by my devotee in pure love, but even great offering presented by non-devotee do not please me. So with devotee He pleases, because He purifies. It pleases the Lord. He doesn't need, because He pleases because He wanted us to go back. He wanted that we get, just like a son. A son is getting some good things. Fathers always pleased, happy. That's the why Lord is so magnanimous. Kripana Vachala. Later in the verses it is stated that He is Kripana Vachala. So then we can move to next verses. We can try to finish another 2-3 verses. Therefore, although I was born in a demoniac family, I may without doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor as far as my intelligence allows. And anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of material life if he offers to pray Lord and hears. See, that is a very, very important. It is said that devotee doesn't need to born in a so much family, demoniac family. No, everybody can come, but provided he is engaged in the hearing and chanting of the Lord. Hearing and chanting. It is stated in this beautiful verses 2:4-18 also, that anybody can come to the Lord. There are so many verses in this regard. That Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulaska, Stamba, Yavana, Member, Klasa, Resha, even though other addicted to sinful act can be purified by taking shelter of the devotee of the Lord. Due to His being supreme power, I beg to offer my respect to Lord. Everybody can come and purify. Although he is demoniac family, but provided we have to Sravanam Kirtanam. By following this hearing and glorifying the Lord, so one can easily Bhaktya Mama Vijanati, immediately will be purified. And they can approach to the Lord. There is no bar. Next verse, O my Lord, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma are sincere servants of your Lordship, who are situated in transcendental position. Therefore, they are not like us, Prahlada and his father, demon Hiran. Your appearance in this fearful, fearsome form is your pastime for your own pleasure. Such an incarnation is always meant for the protection and improvement of the universe. See here, very nice. Prahlada Maharaj wanted to assert that his father and the other member of his family were all unfortunate because they were demoniac. Whereas devotees of the Lord are always fortunate because they are always ready to follow the order of Supreme Lord. Order of the Lord. When the Supreme Lord appears in this material world in various incarnations, he performs two functions: saving the devotee, vanquishing the demon. Paritrāṇa sadhuna vināṣaya praduṣkita. Lord Nrsimhadev, for example, appeared for the protection of the devotee. Such pastime as those of Nrsimhadev are certainly not meant to create a fearful situation for the devotee. But nonetheless, devotee being simple and faithful are afraid of this fierce incarnation of the Lord. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj in the following prayer requests the Lord to give up his anger. So here, very, very important. See, all prayer is so very thoughtful. It's not just like that he is praying. No, every verses is very nice. Here it is says that all these people, Brahma and all demigods, upon his request you have come, they are all transcendental position. So there is no need for you to anger because you have come for paritrāṇaya sadhuna vināṣaya praduṣkita. So there is no question of your So your appearance is your pastime of own pleasure. You are not coming to here to threatening us because your purpose is to save or protect the devotee, not to so fearful. So therefore devotee should not be fear of. Lord is coming this fearful to save us. Jata jata jami tato nrsimha, bahi nrsimha, hudaye nrsimha, narsimha mam. So Nrsimhadev is meant to protect us. This fearful form, angry form is not to frighten the devotees. Although this Brahmas, Lord Shiva, they are transcendental, they are pure devotees. They are great devotees of Lord. But you have not come to frighten them. I know it is your pastime. That is, in Brahma Samhita it is stated that, Ananda, what is that called? Goloka iva nivasati akhilatva bhutam govindam. You can go to these verses. So Lord has come for his here it is Ananda Chinmaya Rasapatita Vistavi Tavira Eva Nijarupataya Kalavi. Ananda Chinmaya Rasapatita. He is coming for enjoying his transcendental pastime. Enjoying his transcendental pastime, he has come. Not to frighten the devotee, because his whole idea to paritrāṇaya sadhana, to become fearless, akuta bhayam. Because devotees are always engaged in the glorifying the Lord. They are akuta bhaya, fearless. So Lord has not come to frighten them actually. That is this statement of Prahlada Maharaj. The next verse is, my Lord Nrsimhadev, please therefore cease your anger. Now my father the great demon Hiranyakashipu has been killed. Since even saintly person take pleasure in killing the scorpion and snake, all the worlds have achieved the great satisfaction because of the death of the demon. Now they are confident of their happiness. They will always remember your auspicious incarnation of Nrsimhadev in order to free from fear. Very, very beautiful, beautiful verses. So here it is stated that tadyacha manyum asurascha hatastodaya modita sadhurapi vishika sarpatya. Modita means pleasing. Means sadhu also please. Actually sadhu is always paropakara. Sadhu never want to harm anybody. Titikya karunika, his karunya, always merciful. He never wanted to hurt. Paropakar. But here in the special case, sadhu is always pleased when the scorpion and snake is killed. Because enviousness is more worse than poison. Because enviousness is most worse than, because if we are envious of God and envious of the devotee, that is the worst quality. Therefore it is said that even a sadhu, because unnecessarily they will harm. The snakes, like scorpion, unnecessarily they will harm. Therefore it is said that even the most important point is that although saintly person never desire killing of any living entity, they take pleasure in killing of envious living entity like snakes and scorpions. So Hiranyakashipu was like envious of the God. We have seen so many envious persons, but never show the mercy to envious person. They are very dangerous. Chanakya Pandita say that there are two kinds of envious persons, snake and those who are acting like snake. But those who are human being acting like a snake, envious person, they are more dangerous than the snake. Because snakes are not intelligent enough. They will just harm. But they are intelligent creature. They will harm more than snakes. They are more detrimental. Srila Prabhupada used to give an anecdote that when he was 1933, he went to Chaitanya Math, he was taking bath. There was a snake. So Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta, he was in the upstairs. And everybody asked what to do. Guru Maharaj said, kill him. So Prabhupada was thinking that, why the Guru Maharaj told to kill? Because Vaishnavas are compassionate. Very compassionate. Mancha kalpatru vyasya, kurpa sindhu, whether kurpa sindhu, ocean of mercy. How he told? Then he was a little bit of surprise. Then later he found out that when he read this verse, that even the modeta sarpa vichika hatya, even the sadhus are pleased when this snake and human like snake and this is envious like snake and scorpion, human is killed. Even a snake and scorpion. Even in Ahmedabad, Prabhupada, below the bed there are snakes. Prabhupada told them that do not kill, take away, throw him. But later he found out all the things. That yes, they should be killed. So enviousness is very no vacancy. Those who are envious, Krishna also very, very strongly says in Bhagavad-gīta, I cast them into the very abominable spaces. No mercy when Krishna is showing. And Krishna also said, those who are envious, I do not speak. Arjuna, you are not envious, therefore I speak Bhagavad-gīta to you. 9.1. Anusuave, prabhakhyami anusuave. So enviousness is a very, very worst qualities. No vacancy. Envy means no vacancy in Vaikuntha. So we should give up that envious. Envious should be, as I told you, everything should be redirected in the service of the Lord. We should be envious those who are against the God. Not that envious to devotees and Supreme Lord. So Hiranyakashipu was very envious to Lord. He never agreed, never accepted the authority of the Lord. He defamed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As a result, Lord appeared as the incarnation of Nrsimhadev and he killed Hiranyakashipu. Therefore here, Prahlada Maharaj is very nicely speaking to the Lord, praying to the Lord. My Lord, even the envious person is very pleased. So my father is like envious of you, is like a snake and scorpion. So you should not be angry now. You give up your anger. Whole idea to pacify me, Lord, know how beautifully he is praying. Then we can go to next verse, maybe the final verse 15. Very beautiful verse. Naham bhivemi ajita atibhya ayaṁ nami vibhyami ajita. My Lord, who are never conquered by anyone, I am certainly not afraid of your ferocious mouth, tongue, your eyes bright like the sun, or your frowning eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp pinching teeth, your garland of intestine, your mane soaked with blood, or your high wedge like ears. Nor do I fear a tumultuous roaring which makes elephant flee to distant place. your nails which are meant to kill your animal. So here, very important things. See, although Lord came is a very fearful, ati adbhuta, adbhuta rupodbhahan, very wonderful form and very fearful. Lord description has been given. His ferocious mouth, tongue, bright like sun, frowning, very, very ferocious. So much ferocious that is roaring, everybody thinking that is now going to be a devastation, final devastation of the world. Everybody is frightened from all 14 planetary system. It was such a tumultuous sound, roaring Lord came out. It is such a fearful form. Everybody is afraid of that. But Prahlada Maharaj is telling, I am not afraid. That is devotee. That is devotee. Prabhupada has given a wonderful purport. Lord Nrsimha's fierce appearance was certainly most dangerous for the non-devotee. But Prahlada Maharaj was such a fearful appearance was not at all disturbing. Lion is very fearsome for the other animal, but its cubs are not at all afraid of the lion. The water of the sea is certainly dreadful for all living entity on the land, but within the sea, even the small fish is unafraid. Why? Because the small fish has taken shelter of the big ocean. It is said that although great elephants are taken away by the flooding waters of the river, the small fish sweep opposite the current. Therefore, although the Lord sometimes assumes a fierce appearance to kill the duskṛta, the devotee worship him. Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagatisha. Devotee always take pleasure in worshipping the Lord and glorifying the Lord in any form, either pleasing or fear. See, Lord is sometimes very fearful form, but devotees, no. Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagatisha. Namaste Narasinghaya. Always pray. We always pray because He will, all our impediment to the bhakti will be taken away. All our fear, all our stumbling block will be taken away by the Lord. And this form is very pleasing to us. But non-devotee, they are fearful. Oh, this Ugra Nrsimha we should not keep in the house. We should not pray. This many times we have heard that. Just like Prabhupada has given two examples. Just like a cub. He is not afraid of lion, although lion is very fearful and all these animals in the jungle forest, they are afraid of lion. And also the sea. A sea is very fearful. It can float away the even big elephant, but a small fish is not at all afraid of this. Rather, he is swimming, enjoying. Therefore, we should understand that devotees always, whatever the form, they are very pleasing to the us. So we are praying, waiting for the appearance of the Lord Nrsimha to celebrate. So we will finish with these verses, then we can continue with the system because it has 55 verses, very, very important verses. We should understand it very clearly and thoroughly. So thank you very much. All goes to Nrsimhadev, and we will continue that. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All goes to Prahlada Maharaj. Jai Bhakta Vigna Vinasana Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai. Bhakta Shiromani Prahlada Maharaj ki jai. Jai Gora Hari Hari.